The Undoing Project. Hey, what are you doing or not doing that if you continue to or don't start to, you're likely to regret it? In the epic book, The Undoing Project by Michael Lewis, he talks about Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, two social scientists, and what they discovered about the concept of regret. Here's what they said. When people make decisions, most people don't seek to maximize utility. Instead, they seek to minimize regret. It's not regretting itself that determines the decision. It's the anticipation of regret that affects it. Kahneman says, happy people do not dwell on some imagined unhappiness, the way unhappy people imagine what they might have done differently so that they might be happy. Now listen to that. Happy people do not dwell on some imagined unhappiness the way unhappy people imagine what they might have done differently so they might be happy. Oh, I love the thought that you and I do not seek to avoid other emotions with the same energy that we seek to avoid regret. A couple of Cornell University psychologists, Gilovich and Davidai, butchered their names. They wrote a book called The Ideal Road Not Taken, great name. And in their research, they showed that each of us are inspired by a trinity of selves. First, there's the baseline self, the actual self, the one that we see ourselves as. Then second, there's the ideal self, the aspirational self. And then third, there's the ought-to-be self, the part of us that meets society's expectations. Now, the result of their work was pretty surprising. What they discovered was people tend to get bogged down in day-to-day activities in pursuit of fulfilling ought-to self's existence. Now, of course, those parts of us have responsibilities, we have obligations, everything that we've already signed up for that we ought to do. But on the psychological level, this causes the most profound sense of regret in the long run. It's when we focus on what we ought to do and we fail to fulfill our goals and our aspirational self. Inactivity in fulfilling our truest potential is the most haunting of all regrets. It's why I created PrivateWork Self-Coaching, to encourage you to become the best version of yourself at the very center of everything that you do. Now, part of that involves transforming something as terrifying as regret into a hypothetical obstacle that is still far in the distance and one that can definitely be avoided. Hey, let's work this out. Write 25 to 30 words to this direction question. What are you doing or not doing? And if you continue or don't start it, you're likely to regret it. Now listen carefully. What are you doing or not doing? And if you continue or you don't start it, you're likely to regret it. First thought, best thought, 25 to 30 words. Begin. Well done. What are you doing or not doing that if you continue to do it or you don't start it, you're likely to regret it. Regret is a sign that you're paying attention. Well done. I'm Joe Stump, your guide by your side, and this is a 1-minute private workout. Have an amazing and fascinating day, avoiding regret.